say prepare. Okay, it's working. All right, here we go. So we're going to define a variable. We're going to set up an equation. We're going to solve it. And you have to remember units. People always forget units. Oh my God, why is that so blurry? All right, so it says Keith has $500 in a savings account at the beginning of summer. How many people have money in their savings accounts right now? All right, so that's money that you have right now. That's kind of like a y-intercept in a line. Does that make sense? If you have a y equals mx plus b, $500 is considered a starting amount. So you would put that like where b is. Does that make sense? Like if you were graphing your money, you would start $500 on the y-intercept. All right. He wants to have at least $200 in the account by the end of the summer. He wants to have at least $200 in the account by the end of the summer. He withdraws $25 each week for food, clothes, and movie tickets. Write an inequality. Okay, write an inequality. So we're going to stay on the right-hand side here, where the y equals mx plus b. If he's withdrawing $25 a day, that's a slope. That means you're losing out of your account. You're losing money, $25 a week. So how would I write that, Erica?
For that piece?
Yeah.
Y equal 25x plus 500.
Okay, so it's close. You're very close. Is it 25? Negative 25. That's a key number there. That's a key sign. He's withdrawing $25 each week. Okay? Are you guys with me on this? Now, it says write an inequality. He wants to have at least $200 in his account. At least $200. What does at least mean to you guys? At least 200 means he wants 200 or more. So we want this money right here to be greater than or equal to 200. And that's how you write an inequality. We want this money right here, the 500 taking away 25 each week, to be greater than or equal to 200. He wants it to be at least 200. So now what we need to do is we're going to solve it. Okay, so maybe you don't like the equal signs over here. So maybe you would rewrite it like this. Maybe it's better for you guys to have it like this. Do you guys like it better on that side?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're starting with $500 right here. You're going to take away $25 each week. Okay, so this is that. And you want to have at least $200 in your account at the end of the summer. So we are solving for what variable? So what would we subtract first? 500. Now, it's kind of weird that you're going to have a negative over here, but that's okay because we're going to be dividing by a negative. You guys understand that? Everyone good? Now, how do we get rid of a negative 25? Now, what happens to an inequality when you divide? You switch the sign. Can someone help me out here? What's 300 divided by 25? So basically, the question is, what was the question? How many weeks can Keith withdraw money from his account so that he still has at least $200? So what would you guys say in words? All right, so 12 weeks, if he withdrew $25 for 12 weeks, he would have $200. But if it's less, if he does it for less than 12 weeks, then he would have more than $200. And that's good. That's what he wants, right? So basically, he cannot go over 12. Anything over 12 weeks, 13 weeks, 14 weeks, 15 weeks, he's going to have less money than $200. Okay, so you would just say less than or equal to 12 weeks. To maintain his $200, at least $200. So you'd go less than or equal to 12 weeks to maintain his 500. So this is kind of like a live example. You guys are going to graduate this year, and you're going to get graduation money. So let's say on an average, most people get $1,000 in graduation money. You're going to go to college 3 months later. Okay, so my kids they had $2,000 each. 2 of them blew all of their money this summer. Blew it. Now they have like $100 and they want to go to Chipotle every day. I'm not giving them money. They had $2,000 to take with them to college and they didn't do it. So now they're asking me for money and I'm not giving it to them. I'm like, you shouldn't have blown your money this summer. So when you get money, just do me a favor. Don't be like my kids. One of them saved it. Save your money. That money's for college. When you go to college and you just want to run to Chipotle every night with your friends or go grab a pizza, have a pizza ordered, go to Starbucks every day, which is what they want to do. It takes money to do that. So that's what that graduation is money for. It isn't so you blow it all summer buying all these clothes that you don't even wear. I think they wear sweats every day to school. Really just get a couple pairs of good sweats and a couple t-shirts. That's pretty much what you're going to need in college because no one dresses up in college. Okay, believe me. So do me a favor. Don't blow your money on clothes like that. Save it for Starbucks, Chipotle, and food places because you're going to want to get pizza and you get sick of cafeteria food in college. All right. Question number 2. Go ahead and read it. All right, so yellow cab taxi charges $1.75 flat rate. What does flat rate mean? Flat rate. Does it ever go up or down? No, it says $1.75 flat rate in addition to 65 cents per mile. All right. So just for them, when you call the cab company and you put your card number in, I'd say it's more like Uber. When you call them, as soon as they accept your call, you're getting charged like $1 before they even show up. And then they're going to say, you're going to say where you're going. Like when you do your Uber app, you put in where you're going. They've already got it all figured out how much you're going to owe. So you already know going in how much you're going to owe them. And your card information's on your Uber app and it already takes it out of your account. So even if you decide to cancel your Uber, it's still going to charge you because they had to drive to you. So even if they get there and go, ooh, I don't like your car and I'm not going to drive with you, they're still charging you money for showing up. All right, so that's what flat rate means. So let's get this. Everyone start with y equals mx plus b again. Start with y equals mx plus b again. So where would the $1.75 go? Where's the flat rate go? M or B? B. Flat rates are always the y-intercept. So just to call the Uber, they're doing taxi, but I'm doing Uber. $1.75 flat rate just to make the call and to start driving to you. But then once you put in your destination, it's 65 cents per mile. So how would I write that, Yaslin? All right, don't put the 10 in yet. What about the 65? Okay, so it's going to be 0.65x plus $1.75. Every time I write it blurs it. So slope is something that changes every mile. So if it was 10 miles, that would be $6.50. If it was 100 miles, it'd be $65. So you just move the decimal over. So you would do 65 cents for every mile. So if you're driving to Cincinnati, that Uber ride would cost you $65 plus $1.75. So about $66.75 for an Uber to take you to Cincinnati. Okay, if you don't have a car and you want to go party with your friends in Cincinnati this weekend, you call Uber, it's going to cost you about $66 to get there. And $66 to get home, unless someone takes you home. Okay, so maybe your friends left Friday, but you couldn't leave because you want to go to the football game, but you don't have a car, but you could ride home with them. It'll cost you $66 to get there. Does that make sense? All right, now, Katie has no more than $10 to spend on a ride. No more than. Think about those words. Talk about it with the person next to you. What does no more than mean? Is that less than or equal? Less than or she has no more than 10. So she could have 10, but she doesn't have more than 10. She has no more than 10. So inequality-wise, I'm going to actually write this first. I think it's easier if you write this first. So here's your 0.65x plus $1.75. She has no more than $10. So she has less than or equal to $10. That's how you write the inequality. Does that make sense? So the ride is $1.75 plus 65 cents. My guess is they're going to be solving for how many miles can she travel? How many miles can she actually Uber on $10? So if she has $10 and she needs to get somewhere, but maybe she has $10 and she'll walk the rest of the way. Okay? Sometimes people have to do that. They have $10. They'll have an Uber take them half the way and they'll walk the rest of the way instead of walking the whole thing, right? So if you have $10, $10 is $10. You can get partway there. Maybe you could walk the rest of the way, right? So let's solve for x. Everyone subtract $1.75 and then divide by 0.65. Go ahead and do that. You're going to need a calculator, guys. You're going to need a calculator. I need a calculator. So we're subtracting $1.75. I know people hate word problems, but you just kind of 10 minus $1.75 is $11.75. And then divide both sides by 0.65. So x has to be less than or equal to 18.1. What does that mean in words? The question was, how many miles can she drive on $10? How many with an Uber? How would you guys say this in words?
Did you add or subtract? I think you added.
Oh, sorry.
That's a bonus point for the class.
Yep. Sorry, my video people, my watchers. Let's go back up. You guys see where I added right there? I added. Thank God I'm doing this live. So let's go back. I didn't subtract. So this is not 11.7. This is 8.25 divided by 0.65. And this is going to be 12.7. So what does that mean? So she can go about 12.7 miles or less on $10. You would say on $10. On $10. Katie can Uber no more than 12.7 miles. What do you guys think? So sometimes people Uber. I see Ubers picking people up from school all the time. Okay, their parents. So you have to think about this. Let's say your parents pay $300 a month for a car payment for you and insurance. So it's probably like $500 a month to drive with gas and everything. If you pay an Uber $10 a day. Some people do Uber.
So I looked up an actual Uber here in Cincinnati. It's $172.65.
Oh, Ethan just looked up an Uber to Cincinnati. It's $172. So this Uber doesnn't charge much.
Probably less. This could be less.
Maybe that's why it was a yellow taxi cab problem. Maybe they're cheaper than Uber.
That'd be horrible though, because that's so comfortable.
All right. How many people have Ubered in here? By yourself or with someone?
By myself, yeah.
All right, guys. Who knows how to find an average of something?
Add them up, divide by number.
All right, average. Listen, to find an average of something, you add them up and divide by a number. This next problem deals with average. Okay. So in the first 4 events of a gymnastics meet, a gymnast scores, start writing these down, 7.5. We're adding these up, 8.2, 8.5, and 9. What must she score on the 5th event? So we're going to put plus X to average at least 8.5. All right. So what would she have to score on her 5th event to average at least 8.5? Someone help me out. What should I do here? What should I divide this by? Should this be 4 or 5? How many events are there? 5. There are 5 events. We have an X. We have an X representing our 5th one. Do you guys see that? We have an X representing our 5th one. This is a 5. Now, what's the key words here? The key words are at least. What does at least mean? She wants at least an 8.5. Yes, it would be greater than or equal to 8.5. So for her to move on to the gold round, she's got to have at least an 8.5, basically, or she's not moving on to the gold round. So what does she need on this 5th event to make sure she gets to the gold round? Does this make sense to you guys? Okay, so what do I do first? How do I get rid of a division of 5? I want everyone to multiply the other side by 5. And at the same time, we're going to add up these 4 numbers. Okay, we're going to add up those 4 numbers. So 7.5, I'll do it right here on my calculator, if I do it right this time anyway. 7.5, 8.2, 8.5, and 9. So far she's got 33.2 points plus her 5th one divided by 5 is greater than or equal to 8.5, and then we're dividing or multiplying by 5. So we're kind of like cross multiplying right now. So 8.5 times 5 is 42.5. So what I have right now, I'm going to come over here, is 33.2 plus x has to be greater than or equal to 42.5. I'm out of room here.
Can I try and turn the other light off? Because it keeps like unfocusing on the projector. It's focused now, but it was like for a while. It wasn't going on.
Okay, well, okay, but will you guys be able to see?
Yeah.
All right. You can try. Oh my goodness, all my papers just went flying.
Yeah, that's good.
That's better?
Yeah.
It's darker to me. Alright, so you had 7.5, no, I'm not going to see this, plus 8.2, plus 8.5, plus 9, plus your 5th event, divided by 5, has to be at least 8.5. So put this 8.5 over 1. It's kind of like a cross-multiplying problem. So when we added these up, we got 33.2 plus x over 5 is greater than or equal to 8.5. And so the reason I'm multiplying by 5 is because it's kind of like cross-multiplying. Okay, or to get rid of division of 5, you multiply by 5. So we have 33.2 plus x is greater than or equal to 42.5. Your last step is to subtract 33.2. And you're about ready to know what her 5th score needs to be for her to go to the gold round. What is it?
9.3.
She needs to score about 9.3 or higher if she wants to go to the gold round. Anything below that, she's going to stay in the silver round. Are you guys writing that in words? She needs to score at least a 9.3. And in gymnastics, a 9.3 is really hard to score. So she's probably going to be in the silver. That's okay. Silver, gold.
Way to not have you wait there.
I don't know who she is.
She might be sweet. You don't know. The last
Right, you know, right.
Well, I was just looking at her previous numbers. She had a 7.5,
She could be
an 8.2, an 8.5.
She went from
She's
trying as well.
She's basically, she would have to do better on her 5th round than all her other ones. I'm going to say she's on the moon silver.
She could be
Just,
clutch. You don't know that.
I'd still love her if she was my daughter.
She's younger.
Gold or silver. All right. So, I can't even see this now, so I'm going to turn on my flashlight. Oh my God, I can't even see the problem.
I think this is
The sum of 3 numbers in 4 is greater than -8. Okay, now they're getting easier, guys. They're starting to get easier. What does the sum of mean?
addition.
Put a plus sign right in the middle. The sum of 3 times a number. Someone tell me how to write 3 times a number. 3x or 3n. What do we want, n or x?
X.
All right, 3 times a number. So you write 3x plus 4. 3x plus 4. So the sum of 3 times the number and 4 is greater than, so put a greater than sign, -8. That wasn't that bad, was it? It's really blurry now, guys. I think it's worse. Do you guys think it's better?
Yeah.
Try focus it again. Is that better? Okay, read that problem again. Does that problem make sense? Whenever you use an inequality, they're going to use the word is before it. They're going to say is greater than, is less than, is more than. They always put the word is. Once that word is there, you know it's going to be a break in the equation. All right, let's solve for x. How do you solve for x? Subtract 4. Divide by 3. And x is greater than -4. Because this is not a word problem, you don't have to explain it. You only have to write a sentence in it for your solution if it's a word problem. Do you guys think these are hard word problems? You're okay? All right, next problem. Bill earns $12 for the day plus 25 cents for every person he gets to register to vote. How many people must he register to earn at least $50 for the day? All right, so let's say you're going to work at the poll voting. Okay, and they said just to come show up, you get $12. But you get 25 cents for every person you get to register to vote. Have you ever seen people do this?
Yeah.
They try to get people to sign up for maybe Power Shack or something. For every person you get to sign up, you get money. That's why people pester you all the time. All right. So this is going to be one of those y equals mx plus b problems again. But I'm going to do mx plus b this time. So anyway, guys, it's $12. I want you guys to finish these notes or / homework tonight. I'm going to go ahead and continue this video after you leave. And you guys can just watch it and fill it in. Because I really want all 44 minutes of review on Monday. I want all 44 minutes of review Monday.
Your flashlight, where's your battery?
Thank you. So Bill earns $12 for the day plus 25 cents per person. He has $12 plus $25 per person. How many people must he register to earn at least? So at least, he wants at least $50. So he wants at least 50. That means equal to 50, or he wants more than 50. At least means if you want at least $50, you're hoping that you make at least $50 or more. So you put greater than or equal. Subtract 12. And then divide by 25, 0.25. That's a 0.25. So 38 divided by 0.25 is 152. So this is, so you'd say Bill must register at least $152. Not dollars, people. And that's how you do it.
Hey, I'm nice day.
See ya, you too.
Isn't today Friday?
It is.
Okay, so we probably bring it back on Monday or something?
Yeah, just finish this for homework and then bring it in Monday.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh, and did I meet my
You
I
did.
did.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, I would have had more of them, but I keep on, I like to take notes because when they show it, because if I don't, I'm not going to know.
So do you feel like you can do that kind of Alex stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty easy now.
All right, good.
We've been doing it for like 3 years.
Oh, you have?
I'm not, what do you say, I'm not very productive in it.
Well, I thought you were very productive yesterday.
Thanks. Hey, you have a nice day.
You too.
Hey, Miss Rollins, I want to make croissants for my class, but it's a lot of work to make 2 batches of dough. So with 1 batch of dough, I can make 12, maybe 13. And I have 20 something people in my class. What do you think I should do? Should I just make more dough, or should I each give a person half?
Give each person a half. All right, guys, a golf club membership. I'm in the middle of a video.
Oh.
The golf club membership costs $100 per month. That's the key number. and each round of golf costs 25 cents. So this is going to be changing. Anything that changes is going to be a slope.
You're busy now. I was gonna see if you can see how much Alex thinks I got left.
If you open up your Alex, I can show you how you can check it. Hi, how are you?
Good.
What are you doing? What math are you in?
Stats, I hate it. It's boring.
So don't you miss me now?
Yes.
All right, so you have $100 a month plus, that's the membership, plus it's going to be $25 for each round of golf. So it's $25 per round of golf plus the $100 membership. You get it up? All right, so see these little three bars right here? You press those, you go to reports, and then it's going to come up with your pie. And right here in the corner it says view full reports. And I'll tell you what you've got learned right there. 19.
I've been doing it all morning.
Good. Look how you. I'm so proud of you.
Let's go. Thank you.
You're welcome. So golf club membership costs $100 and then $25 per round of golf. Okay. How many rounds of golf can a member play if he wishes to keep his costs to at most? Now, what does at most mean? At most means don't go over 250. So that means we got to keep this less than or equal to 250. So he has 250 that he could spend, but he doesn't have more than that. So he needs to keep his cost less than or equal to 250. That's what at most means. So at most means less than or equal. The one up here was at least. At least means greater than or equal. Okay, so at most means less than or equals. So anyway, how many rounds of golf can he play and not go over 250? So we're going to subtract 100. Divide by 25. And x is less than or equal to 6. That means he can play 6 rounds of golf in 1 month or less. He shouldn't be playing that many anyway. He's probably got a family he should be at home with, not playing golf all day. But if he wanted to stay within, unless he's golfing with his family, that's okay. But he can play 6 rounds of golf or less and keep under $250. In a month, that's about right. 6 rounds of golf, it's once a weekend, maybe one weekend he goes 2 days. So that's all right. Okay? Look at all these life problems we're solving today. Maurice earns a 4, a 7, and a 9 points out of 10 for the first 3 quizzes. What must he score in the 4th to average at least 7? Oh gosh, now we're doing math scores. Okay, here we go. He wants his average to be at least 7. Okay, so these averages out of 10-point quizzes. What does at least mean again? If he wants at least a 7, he wants to be greater than or equal to 7. That's his goal. Now over here is where we do all the math. So he earned a 4. That wasn't very good, Maurice, on his first quiz. Then he's got a 7. Then he got a 9. Maurice is improving. These are all out of 10 points on his first 3 quizzes. Okay. What must he score on his 4th? So this is his first, second, third quiz, and 4th quiz. What must he get on the 4th quiz? So we're doing an average here. So we are dividing by 4 because there's 4 quizzes to have an average of at least 7. So we are going to add these 3 numbers right here. 4 plus, that's 11 plus 9, that's 20. Plus x over 4 is greater than or equal to 7. I added those 3 numbers, I got 20. Now, this is kind of like cross multiplying here. We're going to go 20 plus x times 1, greater than or equal to, and then 4 times 7 is 28. Subtract the 20. He needs to get at least an 8 or higher on this next quiz if he wants to maintain an average of 70. Because you know, if he doesn't have an average of 70, someone's probably taking his keys away for the weekend. Not going to be able to go out if you have come home with a 60%. So as long as he has the 70% or higher, that means he can go out with his friends. So he needs to score at least an 8 on the quiz. Next problem. 3 more. So this one's just a normal one. There's no word problem here. It's just they just want you to like read something. If 3 is subtracted from, these are important words. It's going to be subtraction, but what's being subtracted from what? If 3 is subtracted from, that means the 3 is going to be subtracted from this. 3 is being subtracted from 2 times a number. 3 is being subtracted from 2 times a number. Then the result is smaller than 9. Oh, it's not even equal. The result is smaller, that means less than 9. Smaller means less than. So subtracted from. 3 is subtracted from this. 2 times a number. The result, which means equals, less than, or greater than, the result is less than or smaller than 9. Add 3 to both sides, and x is less than 6. The sum of 2 consecutive integers is at least 15. This one's tricky. This is the hardest one, actually, I think, so far. When you do consecutive integers, if I said, give me 3 consecutive integers, you might say 4, 5, 6. Do you see? And they are all go up by 1. So what you do in variables is if you have consecutive numbers, the first one's always going to be represented by x. And the second consecutive one is x plus 1. All right, if I was doing 3, I would go x plus 2, and then x plus 4, and x plus 5. If I was doing consecutive odd integers, or even, because they go by 2s, it would be x and x plus 2. But this is how you represent 2 consecutive integers. This one and then this one. For example, if this was 4, 4 plus 1 is 5. If that was 7, 7 plus 1 is 8. So anyway, the sum of these, so we're adding these, add these. So we have x plus x plus 1. So this is the sum, right here, of 2 consecutive integers. Is at least, that's at least means greater than or equal to 15. So at least means greater than or equal. The sum of 2 consecutive integers is at least, that's greater than or equal to 15. So on this side, let's add like terms. What's x plus x? 2x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 15. X plus x is 2x. Subtract 1. 2x is greater than or equal to 14. And x is greater than or equal to 7. So they didn't ask you to find the 2 numbers, but what are the 2 numbers? So x equals 7 means that if this is 7, what's 7 plus 1? It would be 8. And what's their sum? 15. That makes it 15. But what if it was greater than 7? Give me a number, any number greater than 7. Rachel, give me a number greater than 7.
8.
So if it was 8, what's 8 plus 1? 9. The sum of these is 17. Is that at least 15? Yes, it's actually greater than 15. So any number greater than 7 would work as well. Yay! Aren't these fun? So much fun. So Stan earns $8.15 per hour plus an additional $95 in tips waiting tables. Sweet. I want to work where he works on Saturday evenings. He needs to earn more than $160. What is the least number of hours he would have to work in order to earn this much money? All right. So it's the MX plus B again because it's changing. So he earns $8.15 an hour plus an additional 95 cents in tips. Which one is the slope? Which one's the y-intercept? Which one actually changes per something? Do you guys see how this is per hour? That's your slope. Per something means it's changing every hour. So he needs, if he worked 10 hours, that would be $81.50 because he would multiply the hours times this. Plus additional to this, plus his hourly rate, he's getting $95 in tips. The reason I said I would like to work here is most of the time if you were working for tips, you do not make $8.15 an hour. You make like $4 or less an hour. Like they make waitresses pay like $3 an hour because they get tips. So this is why I would like to work where Stan works because he's making minimum wage and tips. So this is good. This is a good place to work. All right. So he's got $95 in tips on waiting tables on Saturday evenings plus $8.15 an hour. Okay. So this is going to change for the number of hours he's working. I'd assume that he's not making $95 in tips if he only works 1 hour. He's probably making $95 in tips if he works about 7 hours. So this kind of is a weird problem. He needs to earn more than. That means greater than. More than means greater than $160. Why does he need to earn more than $160? He must have a hot date. He needs $160 to take his date to Kings Island and buy her food and buy gas for the day. So he has a goal in mind. He wants $160. So we're solving for X. How many hours does he have to work? Well, if you subtract the $95 in tips, you would get 160 minus 95, or 65. And then you would divide your hourly rate. That's an X. So we're going to divide by 815. So it says that X has to be greater than 7.9754. So we're just going to say X needs to be greater than, well, I guess as long as he works 8 hours, he's good. As long as it's greater than 7.9. So is 8 hours good? 8 hours would be good because that is greater than 7.9. So anything 8 or more. So as long as it's greater than 7.9 hours, he's going to make his goal of $160. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours. But he can't work less than 7.9 or he won't have $160. We are done. 36 minutes later.